Again, good morning. My name is Nicole Warschauer. I'm the head of community marketing over at Trusted Health. And Trusted is the go-to resource for the modern nurse. We have travel assignments across 50 states. We have career resources. We have podcasts. We have blog posts. We really have everything you need to advance your career. And I am joined by Macy Bowe from Outdoor Voices. We love them. They're wonderful. Outdoor Voices is the activewear brand based in Austin, Texas. And their mission is to get the world moving by doing things. And you can check out more about them at outdoorvoices.com or on all the social media channels at Outdoor Voices. All right, we have a couple more events this week with our series with Outdoor Voices, which is called Nurses First. It's a wellness series. We have one this afternoon and we have one tomorrow, so you can check those out and please RSVP. We'd love to see you. And again, I'm just thrilled to introduce Kate Waitzkin. She is seated very calmly on her mat, waiting to help us through a movement and meditation this morning. And without further ado, I'll stop sharing and I'll hand it over to Kate.
Thank you so much, Nicole, and thank you, Macy. It's an honor to be here with you guys and be part of this wellness series. And thank you in advance to all of the nurses that are here live, and if you're watching it later, thank you so much for all that you do to support our communities. All right, so we're gonna get started. As Nicole said, if you've got some kind of a yoga mat or any kind of mat is fine. We're gonna do a little bit of movement and then we'll sit in some guided breath work and some meditation. If you don't have a mat, don't worry. Just find some place that has some sort of maybe a carpet or a rug just to support your body. And then if you can grab a pillow or a cushion or a folded towel or something for when we sit for meditation, we'll use that towards the kind of middle to end of our time together. All right, so go ahead and just find a comfortable seat wherever you are. We won't be here long. I just want to take a moment here to settle in and kind of arrive in this practice. So find a comfortable seat and close your eyes. And go ahead and just rest your hands on your legs, wherever it's comfortable. And take a nice deep full breath in through your nose. And an open mouth exhale. So let the breath release out of your mouth. And do that one more time. Big full breath in. And out through your mouth. And then let your lips come to close just gently. And let your breath move in and out through your nose. And we take just this first minute or so to, again, take some time to kind of land in this space wherever you may be seated. And to notice how you feel in this moment. At this point in your day. Taking notice of how you feel physically. And as you move through this process of observation, can you do so from a place of compassion and curiosity? So no need to judge or analyze what you observe, just simply a process of noticing. And notice how you feel energetically. Notice how your breath feels for you here at the very start of the practice. Before we make any kind of adjustments to the breath, just observing, how is it moving? And then notice on a mental and emotional level, anything that may be present for you right now, any thoughts that may be kind of highlighted. Just observing, noticing. And we acknowledge all that is present here so that as we move through our practice and come to a close at the end, we can take note as well and notice the shift. Notice the difference that this time has made. So let's take a nice deep full breath in through the nose once again. And exhale out through the mouth. And then as you feel ready, just gently blink your eyes open and come back into your space. And we'll transition onto our backs, all right? So just come to lie down. Again, if you're on a mat, that's great. If you're just on a rug, just find a comfortable spot there. And just come to lie all the way back with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. And then let's bring the soles of the feet together and the knees open wide. And then take your arms just alongside your body with your palms facing up. And then from here, once again, just let your eyes close. Soften your jaw, so release your lower jaw away from your upper jaw. And feel that space between the teeth. And have the intention here to let go of effort. So in this shape, we're just simply using the work of gravity and the time held in this pose to begin to unfold and open the body, just gradually. So allow the weight of your body to drop down. And sense the support of the earth underneath you, rising up to meet you and to hold you. And continue here to guide your breath in and out through your nose. And without creating any strain in the breath, just have the intention to lengthen both your inhales and your exhales. A sense of smoothing out the breath. Good. And then just slide your hands down towards your legs. You'll use your hands to support the legs as you draw your knees together. And then hug your right knee in towards your chest. So you can wrap your hands around the shin, straighten your left leg onto the floor. And just take a few breaths here, just hugging the knee in, nothing too complicated. Your left leg is straight out on the floor. You can flex your left foot just to bring some awareness to the bottom leg there. And then we'll move into a twist here. So you'll take the right knee and twist over to the left. So you can roll to the outer edge of your left hip, and then your right arm can extend back behind you. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed for these first several poses while we're on our back. If it feels good for you to open the eyes, that's fine too, wherever you feel comfortable. For some of you, it may feel good to turn your gaze back over your right arm. Just a few more breaths here. And then slowly come back to center. Keep your right knee hugging in. Rebend your left knee so the foot comes to the floor. And then we'll cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. So we're creating a figure 4 shape in the legs. Hug your legs towards you. Your right hand will thread between, and then you can hold onto the back of your left thigh. So figure 4 shape in the legs here. Flex your right foot. It's going to help to protect the knee, the knee rather, as you open the hip. And just a few breaths here. And the purpose of doing some just gentle movement before we sit for meditation is partly just to kind of gather your awareness into your body and to connect to your breath And it's also to prepare the body so that we can sit comfortably. Good. And then very gently release, bring both feet down onto the mat for just a moment. You might notice the difference between two sides. And then we'll hug the left knee in and stretch the right leg straight onto the floor. Yeah, good. So just a few breaths here. And again, the bottom leg here, you can just see how it feels to flex the foot so the toes draw back towards your shin. It'll just start to wake up the leg just a bit. And then we'll move into the twist as you're ready. So the right hand can come just to the outer left thigh as you guide the knee over to the right side. And then your left arm, again, can extend back behind you. Just bringing your awareness again onto the breath. So at any time that we're moving through these shapes, if you feel your mind getting distracted, just as we'll do in meditation, you can just guide your awareness, guide your focus back to the breath, back to any sensation that you may feel in the body. Just one more cycle of breath here. And then slowly come back to center. We'll bend both knees once again with the feet on the floor, and then separate your feet so they're hip distance apart. So I know you can't see your feet, but just do the best you can here. Bring your arms down alongside your body. We're going to move in and out of a bridge pose dynamically. So we'll press the feet down into the mat. We'll bring the arms into the equation here. So lift your hips, lift your arms, reach your fingertips all the way back as your hips go high. And then with exhale, everything comes down slowly at the same time. So slow and steady, hands come down, tailbone touches down. And again, press down through the feet. See if you can begin to coordinate your movements with your breath. So we'll use a full exhale to slowly, gently release down. And the full inhale to lift up. And then we'll just do this twice more. So just moving at your own breath pace. Again, with the intention to keep the breath smooth and elongated. Good. And then the next time you release back down, just pause for a moment. Hug both knees in towards your chest, and we'll make our way up to a seat. So you can come up onto rock, or you can just roll to the side and come on up. Good. Okay, so let's just come to a cross-legged seat once again. Put your hands onto your thighs for just a moment here. Take a breath in to sit up nice and tall. And then we'll take a twist to the left to start. So the right hand will come to the knee. The left hand comes back behind you. And then take a big breath in to lift up through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, turn and rotate. And just about 3 cycles of breath here. So each time you inhale, you think about lifting up through the crown of your head. And each time you exhale, we rotate the spine. Good. And then with your next inhale, come back to center. Keep your legs crossed here. Walk your hands out in front of you. So before we go to the other side, just a moment to forward fold here. And we want to keep the hands a little bit wider than shoulder distance. So we've got nice space around the collarbones. And don't worry so much about how close you get to the earth here. Think more about keeping your sit bones rooted, connected, and keeping your heart or the center of your chest moving forward. And you can drop your gaze, looking down towards the floor so the back of the neck stays nice and long. Good, and then walk your hands back and come on up to sit. All right, from here, we're just gonna switch the cross of the legs. So whatever leg you had in front, just switch it so the other shin is in front. And then we'll take a twist to the right now. So left hand comes to the knee, right hand back behind you. Take a breath in here to lift through the crown of your head. So get nice and tall in your spine. And then with your exhale, you begin to turn. And again, for some of you, it may feel better on your neck to just keep your chin in line with your chest. And for some of you, it might feel better to turn and look back over your right shoulder. So just listen to what your body's needing this morning or this afternoon, wherever you may be. One more breath. Good. And then slowly come back to center. All right, from here, last thing seated, we're going to take the legs out to a V shape. So again, it doesn't matter how wide they go. Find a place that feels comfortable for you, and then take your hands back behind you. So we're going to use the hands kind of like kickstands to keep the spine nice and tall. Let your elbows bend back just a touch. And then from here, press your thighs down towards the floor. So as if you're rooting your legs down. And then see if you can find more lift from your tailbone to your crown. So nice and tall on the spine. And just a few breaths here. And again, for some of you, this may be just plenty. You might like to take the hands in front of you, so see how that feels to come into just some degree of a forward bend. So keeping your hands wide. And your gaze down. Again, notice if any unnecessary tension has gathered in your jaw. You can soften that. Just one more breath. Good. And then walk your hands back. Let's bring the hands under the knees. Gather your legs together. Just cross at the ankles. And then we're going to come over into a tabletop position. So just on all fours here. Just right at the center of your mat. So bring your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. And take a breath in here to draw your chest forward. Lift your tailbone up to the sky. So we're moving into cow pose here. And as you exhale, press the earth away from you. You'll round your spine and look back towards your belly button. And again, inhale, draw your heart forward. Maybe lift your gaze. Exhale again to round. And breathing in and out through the nose. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Last time, breathe in. And now as you exhale, we'll press back to child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch, take your hips to your heels, and walk your hands forward. Go ahead and let your forehead release down. And we'll keep the arms out in front of us here for today. So just have a look at your hands for a moment. Make sure the hands are shoulder distance. And then let your forehead drop back down. And just a few cycles of breath here, in and out through your nose. Allow the weight of your seat, your hips, to drop down towards your heels. Good. Yeah. Good. And then with your next inhale, rise up onto all fours, tuck your toes, and we'll move into downward facing dog just for a few breaths here. So for this first down dog, we'll keep the knees bent. So you can come high up onto the tippy toes. Take a soft bend in your knees, and now press your hands well into the mat as you take your hips up and back. Let your head release, just a few breaths here. And now straighten your left leg, press your left heel towards the floor. And then switch, straighten your right leg, press your right heel towards the floor. Good. And now once again, lift both heels, bend both knees, look between your hands and just step your right foot forward. The right foot comes forward between the hands, lower your back knee down to the mat, and then walk your hands up to your right thigh. Yeah, so just a few breaths here in a lunge, low lunge here. Can let your hips start to come forward slightly. And as you do that, take a gentle lift in your lower belly. So that's gonna help to protect your lower back, your lumbar spine. And then just press your hands down into your thigh to lift your chest. Just gazing straight forward. Few more breaths here. So the hip flexors, which is one of the primary things we're opening in this pose, tend to get really tight when we do a lot of sitting or standing, and can make it hard to sit comfortably for very long in meditation. So just a few more breaths here to begin to open this space. And then with your next exhale, go ahead and just bring both hands down to the mat. Lift your back knee, so you're in a lunge here with the knee lifted. Plant your left hand right under your shoulder and turn and take a twist to the right. So the right arm goes up to the sky. And we'll just hold here for a few breaths. I'm going to try to find this space right in between your shoulder blades to turn. So rotate right in that space. And now take your top arm, just the last two breaths here, reach up and over your ear. So reach forward with your right arm. And then with your exhale, bring your right hand down. Let's pivot to the left. So all 10 toes face the long side of your mat. So wide-legged. Yep. Good. Have your hands right underneath your shoulders. And now from here, keep your heels grounded and just walk your hands forward. So this is going to feel like a really wide downward facing dog. And then let your head release. Again, really the most important part of this practice is the breath. So don't worry so much about what your shape looks like. Just do your best there, but do continue to stay focused and anchored in the rhythm of your breath. Just one more cycle here. And then walk your hands back under your shoulder. We'll just pivot to the front once again, so you're in a lunge over your right leg, and we'll step back to downward facing dog. Good. And then inhale now, come forward to plank pose. We'll lower the knees to the mat, bend your elbows straight back, and come all the way to your belly. Untuck the toes so the tops of your feet are on the mat. And now inhale for cobra pose. Press the feet down, lift your chest. Keep your elbows bent here. And exhale, release. And do that one more time. Inhale, rise. And exhale to lower. Good. Now with an inhale, press up to all fours. And one more time, downward facing dog. So just moving slowly here. Look forward, step your left foot between your hands. Lower your back knee to the mat, and then walk your hands up to your left thigh. Good. So just in a lunge once again. And same thing we did on the first side here. So let your hips come forward in space. Yep. And at the same time, you can even put your hand on your lower belly just to gently guide it up and in. So we're not hardening the abdomen, but it's just a gentle hugging in to support the lower spine. And then you can press the hands into the leg to help lift your chest. Just about 2 more cycles of breath here. Good. And then with your next exhale, bring both hands down to the mat, right? Lift your back knee, and with your right hand under your shoulder, turn and twist. So take the left arm to the sky. And then we'll take the top arm and reach up and over your ear. So a nice big opening in the left side body. Good. And then exhale, both hands down to the mat. And then we'll pivot again. So you're gonna turn now, I'll turn to face you guys, but turn to face the right side of your mat. So once again, feet are wide. And this time, keep your hands right under your shoulders. Take a breath in and pull your chest forward between your arms. And as you exhale, fold in. Go ahead and let your head release completely. And just notice if you're the weight is hanging back in your heels. So try to find center from front to back in your feet. Just another breath here. Good. And then come up just a few inches. We'll turn again to the front of the mat. So you're going to lunge over your left leg and step back to down dog. One more time, we'll inhale forward to plank. Lower your knees to the mat, bend your elbows, and come all the way down. Untuck your toes. And now from here, we'll prop ourselves up on our forearms. Okay, so for Sphinx pose. So have your elbows shoulder distance apart, your hands shoulder distance apart, and tops of the feet down onto the mat. Good. And then just a very gentle kind of isometric movement here. So imagine here that you're pulling your hands back in space as you draw your chest forward. And then find that same kind of gentle hugging in of the lower belly. And as you do that, you may feel your tailbone lengthen down towards your heels. And just another breath here. Good. And then let your elbows bend out to the sides. Go ahead and lower down. Bring your hands alongside your chest, and let's press back to child's pose. Right, so bring your big toes together, take your hips to your heels, and let the forehead rest down. And let your elbows bend so the forearms can rest. Good. And then walk your hands back towards your knees and lead with your chest. Go ahead and rise all the way up to sit. Yeah. And we'll shift the hips to one side, bringing your legs forward. So stretch your legs straight out in front of you, and then hug your right knee in towards your chest. The right knee hugs in. Yeah. Take your left arm and reach it straight forward, and then wrap the elbow around your right knee. Take your right hand back behind you. And have a look at your left leg for just a moment. So left leg is straight. Take a breath in to lift up through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, turn and twist. Just one more breath here. Good, and then slowly unwind, come back to center. Let's take the knee out to the side here, right? So just let the knee fall open to the side. Bring your hands on either side of your extended leg. Good, and then take a breath in here to lift your chest. And again, this may be plenty for you. You can stay in this somewhat of an upright position, just working to keep your heart lifted and your seat grounded. And for some of you, it may feel good to start to fold forward. Right, so just see how it feels in your body today. Wherever you decide to go, let your chin drop slightly towards your chest. So when we draw the chin down towards the chest, it helps to quiet the mind. Good, just one more breath here. And then slowly rise up to a seat. Bring the soles of your feet together now and knees open wide. So we did this pose on our back at the start of our practice. So we're here just seated. You can have your feet as far away or as close to you as feels good, right? So Baddha Konasana. Hold on to your ankles here and lift your chest. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let's take a few breaths here. Again, for some of you, it may feel good to fold forward. And then with an inhale, go ahead and come upright. Stretch your right leg out in front of you and bring your left knee up towards your belly. Right, so we're just doing the same work on the other side here. So we'll reach the right arm straight forward, bend your elbow and just hook the elbow around the knee, and then your left hand comes back behind you. Now breathe in here to lift up through the crown of your head. Good. And exhale to turn. Good. And then inhale and slowly come back to center. Let your left knee just fall open to the side here. Bring your hands on either side of the extended leg. Right. So you may even be more upright like this. Some of you may start to walk forward. But we want to do our best to keep as much length from the belly button to the sternum as we can, so we're not rounded like this. Right. Keep your breath smooth and steady. And again, just noticing as you move through these shapes, any kind of unnecessary and involuntary tension that may be building in your jaw, your face, your shoulders. So as you notice that, see if you can begin to send your breath to those areas in your body. Good, and then slowly walk yourself back up to sit. One more time here, let's bring the soles of the feet together and the knees open wide. Close your eyes. If you'd like to fold forward for the last 3 breaths, you're welcome to do that. And then slowly inhale, come on back up. Bring your knees together. Let's stretch the legs out in front of you. Okay, so separate your feet and your legs a little bit wider than hip distance for this one. And then press your heels down and lift your knees up. So there's just a slight bend in your knees. Take your arms straight up to the sky and just take a few breaths here and imagine that you could climb your whole rib cage up and out of your hips. So get as long as you can on all 4 sides of the torso. And then with an exhale, start to tip your pelvis forward and have the intention here to make contact between your belly and your thighs. So you might need to bend the knees even more. Let your hands just come to rest on the mat wherever they land, and then let your head drop. And now for some of you, it may feel good in your body to straighten your legs. For others, just keeping the knees bent is the way to go. So just listen to what the signals your body's giving you. Last 2 breaths. Good. And then gently, slowly look forward, lead with your chest, and come all the way up to sit. Okay, let's bend the knees. And we're going to come to sit for some breath work and meditation now. So if you've got a pillow, some kind of a cushion or a blanket, go ahead and grab that and just place it right underneath your sit bones. So the idea here being that as you come to sit, your knees are just slightly below your hips. That's going to keep the hip flexors open and hopefully keep you more comfortable. Okay, so just come to sit. Cross-legged, you can sit on your heels. If you are sitting in a chair, then just make sure that your feet are flat on the floor so the legs are not crossed, all right? And then just one final stretch here before we go into the meditation. So take your right hand out to the right, reach your left arm out to a T, turn the palm to face up, and now we'll go up and take a side bend over. And you can let this bottom arm bend. Good. Do your best to stay grounded through your left sit bones. So this left sit, keep it rooted and stretch the top arm straight. Good, you guys. And then see if you can turn your chest open. And then inhale and come back up. Bring your left hand down, right arm out to the side. Again, palm faces up, and then just big stretch up and over. You turn your chest towards the sky. Last breath here. Good, and then inhale and come all the way back up. All right, from here, let's rest the hands face down on your legs. And as you feel ready, go ahead and close your eyes. And just take a moment here as you settle into your seat to notice where your body is in space, right? So are you leaning forward unknowingly? Are you kind of rolled back to the back of your hips, back of your pelvis? Try to find center from front to back and left to right as best as you can. And then sense here your lower body, so your hips, your legs, all the way down to your feet. Sense the lower body beginning to descend towards your support. So there's a sense of grounding and stability in your lower body. And now from your tailbone all the way up through the center of your body, all the way up to the crown of your head, sense a lengthening and a lightness and a spaciousness. Good. And now just take a moment here to connect back to your breath. And meditation is not about clearing the mind necessarily, but really we work to give the mind a point of focus. Okay? And when we give the mind a point of focus, the activity of the mind begins to settle and soften. So we'll work with the breath in a couple of different ways today as our point of focus. So just simply notice here, watch your inhales and your exhales. And begin to see in your mind's eye the path of your breath as it comes in and as it flows out. So as you inhale, see and sense your breath coming in through the nostrils, moving down the back of the throat and into the space of the lungs. And imagine that the breath could move all the way down into your lower belly and into your seat. And with the exhale, sense the breath coming up from your lower body, moving up the central channel and coming out the nostrils. Right. So just visualize this path, moving the breath at your own rhythm and pacing. As you inhale, see the breath coming in through the nose and descending through the body. And as you exhale, sense the breath moving slowly up and out. Good. Now we'll just layer in here a counting of the breath. So you can continue to visualize the breath on that same path if that's working for you. And then we'll add in a 4 count on both the inhales and the exhales. So I'm just going to let you count in your own mind. As you inhale, you count for a count of 4. And as you exhale, we breathe out for a count of 4. And again, as you're ready, in for 4. And out for 4. And please continue just on your own. As you breathe in this way, just sense this balance being created between the two sides of the breath. You're welcome to stay with the 4 count. If you'd like to extend the breath an additional count, moving into a 5 count breath, you can work there. So in for 5 and out for 5. And again, if you feel any sense of strain coming to this process, then shorten the count. So just another minute or so with this, the counting of the breath. And now begin to release the counting and maintaining this gentle lift in your spine and your chin just slightly down towards your chest. Just allow your breath now to be effortless, to move into its natural rhythm and flow. And finally, we'll build in just a silent mantra or affirmation. We'll layer this into the breath. So again, just allowing your breath to be natural and smooth here. As you inhale, just in your own mind, you can repeat, peace within me. And as you exhale, peace around me. So the in-breath is peace within me. And the out-breath, peace around me. And you can begin to sense that this essence or experience of peace moves into the body as you breathe in, washes through you. And as you breathe out, this same experience or essence of peace permeates the space around you. And eventually you can let go of the mantra, the affirmation, and simply rest in this experience of peace. Peace within your body, within your mind, and peace in the space around you. And now very gradually begin to deepen your breath. And notice how you feel now. Let your awareness settle just on this experience of how you feel physically, energetically, the quality of your mind. And as you feel ready, let's just gently, you can keep the eyes closed here, circle your arms around and up. Interlace your hands overhead and turn your palms open to the sky. And stretch up. So let your seat stay rooted and grounded. Again, bringing space and lightness to your upper body. And then with your exhale, just let the arms circle wide. And bring your right hand to stack right over your center of your chest, right over your heart space, and the left hand to stack on top of that. Take a nice deep full breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, just gently bow your head towards your heart. And may you carry this experience of peace with you through the rest of your day, the rest of your week. And may you stay close to the practices that allow you to tap into this peace within. Gently bring the palms together in front of the heart. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your practice today. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Kate.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. We'll let Kate go in peace with her day. Thank you so much. And we'll move on to a quick giveaway before everyone hops off for the day. Macy, do you want to choose someone?
Yes, I'm just gonna randomly select someone from the list. Okay. Anna Few.
Can you say that again, Macy?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Anna
that's me.
Few.
Yeah, that's me.
Anna Few, great. Anna,
Can you hear me?
can you DM Macy through the Zoom chat with your email, and you won the giveaway.
Oh, yay, thank you. Here.
Yay. Y'all, I'll give Anna a minute to do that, but have a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll see you later today or tomorrow to finish out our series together. Have a great, y'all. Bye.
Thanks, guys.